Israel hit nuclear military sites and removed top commanders in the Islamic theocracy. Iran retaliated, doing what it always does, which is targeting civilians. This war is likely to continue. After all, Iran is the same regime which consistently plots to assassinate U.S. officials. The Trump administration tried to broker an agreement. Skeptics wonder if Iran was ever serious about a deal or would honor one. And there has been some speculation that negotiations were just a ruse to distract Iran while Israel prepared to attack. Joining us is former Assistant Secretary of State Brian Hook, who negotiated with Iran and has actually been the target of Iran's hatred for the West himself. Welcome, Mr. Hook. Thank you for joining us. How long will this conflict last, and in what ways should we be prepared for Iran's retaliation?
I think we're very early in the conflict, and what I see Israel doing to Iran is very similar to what they did to Hezbollah in Lebanon, where they decapitate the military and political leadership, and then they start taking out the missiles and the missile launchers and any other capabilities that the enemy has against Israel. They are taking those out one by one. And how long this goes on, Trey, is unclear. Israel has hit 250 strikes inside of Iran, and Iran has hit 22 strikes in Israel. This is a lopsided war, and Israel has a distinct advantage. My sense is that they're going to keep pressing the advantage, and they're going to keep going after the personnel and the nuclear scientists and the military officials and the hardware that they've been using for decades to attack Israel.
Is it too early to get a sense of how much of Iran's nuclear weapons capacity or potential was impacted and how much remains?
I would say it's been degraded, but it has not been eliminated. And Israel has been hitting a lot of the same nuclear targets multiple times to penetrate these deep nuclear systems that are below ground in various sites in Iran, around Natanz and Fordo and Bashir. Those are the three major nuclear sites. But I've noticed that in addition to hitting those sites, they've now taken out 10 nuclear scientists. They've been bombing the facilities that do nuclear research. And I think that campaign is going to continue. As I said, it's multifaceted, and it has been plotted now for years, and Israel has now sprung the mousetrap.
All right, it appears to me, at least, I mean, you're the expert, that President Trump really wanted a deal to secure peace for Israel and the region. I mean, he really wanted that, but there is some chatter, some speculation that the nuclear talks were just a disguise to allow Israel time to prepare and finalize this attack. What does Brian Hook think?
I think President Trump is sincere in his desire to reach a deal with the Iranian regime. And his envoy, Steve Witkoff, has had 5 or 6 rounds of talks. And at these talks, he is conveying to the Iranians, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And President Trump gave the regime 60 days of diplomacy to try to come to a deal. And it was made clear to them that we can do it one of 2 ways. And the regime, I don't understand why they didn't take the diplomatic off-ramp that President Trump offered. But they decided to choose the hard way, and the hard way arrived 3 days ago.
All right, Brian, before I'll let you go, you mentioned the disproportionate number of strikes in Iran versus Israel. Should that change? Should things begin to level out? How active do you think the U.S. will be in defending Israel?
It looks like the United States is going to help Israel defend itself. And as President Trump said, he's not part of the war, and that's the offensive piece. But helping a friend defend itself is now it's certainly part of the U.S. role. I think Iran's biggest challenge is they have something like 2,000 missiles, but they're running out of missile launchers. And unless you have a launcher, the missiles are fairly useless. Israel is taking out all of these missile launchers, and so you're seeing this decline in the number of missile launches from Iran into Israel. That number, I think, is going to keep declining. And so the supreme leader is finding himself in a box without many good options. I think this has improved President Trump's negotiating leverage. And it may then create the balance that was missing to force the Iranians back to the negotiating table so that some sort of much better nuclear deal can be negotiated.
Brian Hook, truly with an unparalleled level of expertise when it comes to Iran. Thank you for your service to our country, and thank you for sharing it with us on a Sunday night.
Thanks, Trey.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.